Hello and welcome to another relaxing round of Wingspan. This is just a casual, more or less casual, competitive ELO game on the Wingspan tournament Discord. We are going second, and this is our opening hand. This looks like something that one wants to do, right? Nightingale producing wheat, which we can then tuck into the Canada Goose. Tasty. On the other hand, I am not very keen on feeding my opponent intensively this way, but still, I think it's fine. This could be two reasonable birds for the wetland opening. Also, the Northern Cardinal looks like a bird which can really boost up our first turns. There is a Northern Flicker in the tray, and there are 4 grubs in the bird feeder, but we're not going first, so we don't have any opportunity to deal with it. Let's look at the bonus cards before we decide. Omnivore Expert is usually just a great card. So, even though we don't have anything in the opening hand to support that, I'm quite fine with taking it. So if they start by drawing Northern Flicker, then we might want to consider if we want to take a food off the feeder, with presumably one of these weed. But yeah, it wouldn't be a terribly strong play, given that all our food gaining actions will be better once the Northern Cardinal is in play. We'll have to see. A bit skeptical. They did it! Okay, so we can counter a bad action, which is drawing 1 card, not judging here, with another bad action, which is gain 1 food, which would be 1 less food that they gain for free. Can we afford to just give it to them? That's a difficult decision. I mean, even with the Cardinal on board. So I think, given the fact that we can still play Cardinal, try to get another Weed and Berry. So I wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for the potential of playing these 2 birds with just 1 more gain food action. But looking at it this way, we don't really lose anything. Of course, we gain 1 less food in total compared to when we play the Cardinal, but they also get 1 less food in exchange, which means that we should be fine with that action. I cannot imagine that they have plans that involve 4 grubs that we have foiled now by giving them only 3, but still, we don't know. I think under these circumstances it was the slightly better play. Chipping Sparrow. Ooh, that's a nice bird. Yes, let's try to roll a wheat. Success. Then we can play Goose, lay eggs, play Nightingale to the water, and start drawing cards. Potentially generating some food and some points. Ignoring the fact that we also give stuff to our opponent. I mean, not ignoring, but I want to talk about this. Oh, they really do need a lot of grubs. Interesting. So Let's stick to that plan. It's a bit of a weird thing to imagine that the Nightingale would feed a Canada goose. It has to be careful not to be swallowed by the goose. The goose stops being a vegetarian. Although there's not much to chew on a Nightingale, so probably not the best opportunity for the goose to drop vegetarianism. I have the feeling that my opponent is quite well in business at the moment. Yeah. In case it hasn't become obvious, I will skip the first round goal for a lack of opportunity. But I can potentially compete with a second one. Third and fourth, I don't know. Depends on what our opponent does. The setup doesn't look too bad. And that worries me a bit that they... Okay. I'm not worried. I thought they were gathering mice to play a raven next turn, but it turns out they just hard casting a goshawk, which I really don't mind actually. So let's draw some random cards, because none of the tray I like. Oh, this one I like. So let's think about this. I will want the grackle and the water, that's for sure. Okay, let's get some wheat, but let's not use the goose. We can still do that later on. It's of vital importance that we develop some nicely working wetlands engine here. So the question is then, will we draw cards another time to get one more food to play the grackle? I think it would be good to have more options. But of course we could also gain food with the cardinal. Then play the grackle. I think the card drawing is nicer. Oh, shift. Oh. Ooh. Yum yum. That's indeed a yummy. Let's just generate more wheat then. Let's not feed the goose. Sorry goose, your time will come. Okay, so then it should probably be Chef first and then maybe even the Ruddy Duck as a finish, and then we draw 5 cards and can tuck them all in the late game. That's probably nice. Yeah, but we need to have the grackle first, I think. So I don't like Ruddy Duck in 2x, but that's -2 start. I don't like that. Let's go with a grackle first, and then we can still consider to take the Ruddy Duck if necessary. and a meadowlark. Okay, so they have 3 cup nest spots. I can profit from the meadowlark as well, that's fine. Okay, until a better idea becomes apparent, we just take that one. I don't think we'll be swimming in food, so let's just tuck that dove. And we can surely use more of that. No activating the goose until engine is complete. Let's just draw some more cards. This is unfortunately not good anymore. Can just generate more random wheat. Play Chiff Chiff. So if I can generate massive points just by this engine, it's tucking 5 cards, gaining 1 egg, tucking 2 under the goose. Only thing is we will have to unload the grackle every now and then. But that should be doable. Oh, barns wall, sweet. Maybe we can... wait. So I can get rid of some of these. I'm not entirely sure what to do with the others yet. So let's do this. And tuck another one here. Generate another wheat and start feeding the goose. What's the cavity nest status? What? They have still 3 spots, so at the moment we would be in contention to win the round goal. I would first draw cards again to come to the second, and then turn to 4. They're laying eggs, that's sweet. Finally they're returning something for all the wheat that I'm bestowing to them. So I have 2 actions, they have 2 actions, so there is no reason to not draw cards. Interesting. That's a white power bird for this, potentially. Should maybe keep that. So I won't be playing that one. That's for sure at the moment. I would also not play the crane. Do we want to do, says Phoebe at some point, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 potential takers. Yeah, I think we should go for some stuff here. And So we would just lay eggs to win the round goal, I guess. And then we can play Roddy Duck next round, for example. Or we can consider going for other birds. Yeah, the drawback is these birds are really all expensive, and we are more... It would be easier for us to play rather tiny ones. Franklin Skull. But not for us. They will potentially enjoy the Franklin Skull. Good for me that the game has already progressed quite a bit, so that won't be too terrible. Downy woodpecker could be an interesting bird. Black-headed gull. Also interesting, but not what we need, I think. Because we want to score points with this little engine of ours. Empty that grackle. Oh! Actually, that's not a problem by emptying the grackle because we have this. So let's actually draw 6 cards. Tuck 5 with the Chiff-Chaff. Nice. Okay, that's interesting. The engine is even better than I thought. We still should get hold of some white bird in order to participate in the round goal. I think if the downy woodpecker remains there, I will probably grab it and try to play it. Oops. This one and this one. Ah, there's our white bird. Another one, actually. I won't be needing that. So, I think we refrain from using the Chiff-Chaff for this round. Only use the grackle. Use the goose. Discard something. Then we can play downy woodpecker into Bonelli's, and then probably just go for the tucking engine. They have 3, right? Maybe we could also actually play the Bell's Warrior to equalize, but that's a topic for later. Ship this, play this, change this. We won't play these. Too expensive. So, in case they are not playing a 4th white bird, I might use the Nightingale to generate grubs. Problem being, I cannot use the grubs for anything if this doesn't help. Bird feeder doesn't look too promising as well. I think I'm just going to use that engine now and screw the round goal. So that's 8 points per activation. That should be doing the trick, actually. Do I want to use this? This doesn't change anything, right? So if I spend an egg, I can tuck one more card, but it actually doesn't change anything. As long as I play it correctly. Which is only tucking 4 for the Chiff-Chaff. And 1 for the Grackle. So of course, once the Grackle is full, we have to change the policy. And they have played the 4th white bird, by the way, so it was the right choice to ship that Bell's Vireo and not try to squeeze it into play. So I think for the future activations I just go for discarding the egg because it reduces the danger of misplays, actually. Because if I don't use that, and I could accidentally tuck one card too much for the Chiff-Chaff, and that would then cost a point, and we don't want that. Okay, at this point, the game from my side has become very linear. I will just do the same every turn. Unless they present something interesting like the Flamingo or something. That could maybe change stuff. Let's draw stuff. Ooh, oh, it's too late anyway. Doesn't do much. Will they be able to do something with a bush tit? I don't think so, because they won't be drawing anything. I just proceed with what I can do best. 88 points already, says the counter. That's amazing. Right away I have 88 points. And the real amazing thing is that there is 4 more actions, so it will be 120 if the counting is correct. But I'm also feeding my opponent with tons of food this game, so they will also have above 100, I would figure. That's a real fat goose. In a paper game it would be very three-dimensional, as would the Grackle, and the entire wetland actually. So yeah, we can conclude that the Goose Nightingale opening was kinda nice. I'm not sure if it will be enough to win, but we also got lucky to find Grackle, Chiff-Chaff, Ruddy Duck, Bonetti's Eagle. It's not a ton of birds, but exactly the right birds that we needed. We ignored a full round goal, a full habitat, and also only participated in 2 more round goals. So that will definitely cost some points, as our opponent is also generating tons of eggs and value, and they have played big birds. But our engine is definitely nothing to be laughed at. I wonder if we can draw the entire deck. I know that this can happen, but it never happened to me. Maybe it will now. Also, I hope it won't, because it would kind of suck, because not being able to draw cards would mean I cannot generate any more points. But yeah, I'm not anywhere close to 300 cards being tucked, so I think that's just something that only happens in multiplayer games. If ever it happens. Usually with paper Wingspan it's easily possible to play 2 games with the same pile of cards with 4 players and not come through. But if all 4 players would have such an engine every time, we don't know. Meep. Oh, Chaffinch, hello. Look what we do, Chaffinch. Huh, Imperial Eel. But this doesn't really... Wait. No. I mean, it's 10 points. But it cannot really be good, right? Okay, let's do the... If we wanted to play this, we would have to tuck 4 cards less this turn, which means we would only generate 4 points instead of 8, which would mean 14 points in total, which is 2 less than the 16 points that we get if you just do this twice. I unlocked an achievement. Mein Schwarm. My swarm. I don't know what is this achievement called in English. And what's the condition? Tucking this and that many cards probably, right? So we have 1836, 43, 68, tucking 70 cards probably. I'm at 71. But Mein Schwarm is a good name for that achievement, because it's a bit ambiguous in German. Can also not only mean my swarm, but also my love. There is this word. Für jemanden schwärmen, which would translate literally to swarm for somebody, which sounds weird. But in German it means like be very fond of someone, like you behaving like a swarm of butterflies or birds encircling that person. So that's very cute. So Mein Schwarm is a very, very cool name for that achievement. And yes, I'm not actively play for Wingspan achievements, as you might have realized. So I read on the Discord that some people really purposefully try to unlock all the achievements, but I mean, apart from being able to say, yeah, I did it, I never really saw the value in it. Always focusing more on building engines like this and winning. No, just kidding. Will we win this? I mean, bunch of points, granted. But the opponent has 10, 19, 26, 32. They don't have that many points on birds, actually. It's only 39 with 18 eggs. Some 18-ish from the round goals. That would be 60, 80 bonus cards. Still, there's also 4 cards tucked. They have 2 actions left. I would think that they can come to 100, at least. So I'm not sure if that will actually be enough what we are doing. I also don't know if they are stuck now or if they are just thinking hard. So they haven't spent the wheat that I gave them upon their last egg-laying actions, which is a bit puzzling, and it's hinting towards they are going to play another bird. Which one would that be for 3 wheat? Maybe they're hoping for a 4th because they need to overpay for it. Maybe I should refrain from giving them another one if this should be so, but I would lose 2 points on purely speculative grounds. I don't think I should do that. It totally depends what they are going to do now. So if they do another egg-laying action and don't spend the wheat, then I will have to stake. They laid eggs. They didn't spend the wheat. And also they won't lay eggs again because they have only 2 spaces left. So it's quite obvious that they are going to play a bird. The question is, can they play a bird with 3 wheat? I mean, of course there are birds that they can play in the game. But are they speculating for us to give them another one is the question. So I think if I counted correctly, it shouldn't matter too much. Also, I want to have the fattest goose ever, so I'll just give the wheat to them. No, that's a tucking engine. 40, 68, 76, 79 cards. That's definitely my personal record, as indicated by the achievement that I have never crossed 70 before. But it's not definitely not the overall record. I think. Now the overall record for tucked cards must be... oh, the 3-digit number. Let me look that up. In the records room of the Wingspan tournament Discord. $112. Wow. That's a bunch. So, this is definitely a nice score. And there will be 4 more points, I think, because so far it has only counted 0, 5, 3, and there will be 4 more here. So it should be 127, which is amazing. I would have definitely signed for that if it was offered to me before. Still, yes, if my counting is correct, the opponent should be, depending on their bonus cards, around 100. They can probably play another bird now, even maybe if they have birds like this. They might even be able to play several birds. But I would expect that they cannot come to more than like 110, 120. I hope. I should be slightly ahead. But they're making it very... they're keeping up the tension. They're really pondering what to do there. So, let's see what happens. So yeah, we did all the counting. 102. So yeah, my calculation was... alle unter einer Decke. What the fuck? I don't know what that was for. But yeah, that was definitely a nice game. And that was definitely a lot of tucking. So, hope you enjoyed it. Apologies for the last 8 actions or so being very linear, but at least we had some pondering about our opponent's moves to do, so I hope it wasn't too boring towards the end. But as a YouTube viewer, you can also always fast forward, so I think that you will have managed to have some fun in this video. Thank you for watching and see you next time.